Good afternoon, Scott Riley, T3 Live. Welcome to Monday's recap. So I came in today actually flat with no positions because I got a little thrown off on Friday. We had a strong day. A lot of the stocks that I were focusing on earlier that week just really didn't participate. So instead of being frustrated, instead of just shorting the market like some people do if they're not in the right stocks, I said I'm going to take a step back and develop or approach next week with an open mind to see whether or not I want to put on some positions, whether or not I want to just remain tactical, or what's the market going to do? Do we have commitment to last Friday after a controlled pullback to the 21-day, or is it going to be choppy and loose and not a lot of interest? So with that being said, even though the indices were somewhat flattish today, I think a lot of the names that we were looking at had really nice tactical action. Some for the day, some probably could have a little continuation. So with that being said, first let's take a look at the SPX. You'll see here's this big time macro trend that's been in place for all of 2013. Here are the different ranges to navigate for cash flow and alpha. Let's just take a quicker, more precise look here, because that's what we're trying to do, be precise and make some money into year end. This was where we held. This was at a little red dog reversal right around 1779. And then we held higher, never even pierced that. This was your jobs gain. And then today, I wouldn't say something like, oh, we have a double top in the SPX, run for the hills, get short, game over. But I just think, look where we came, look where we paused. I think some sideways action up here would be good. Let's quickly look at the spiders, because I think a lot of people are navigating that. You have a little bit of a doji today, which could mean a rest, some sideways action above this area, or even perhaps if we went below today's low, maybe even test here. But either way, we just had a really nice 3-4 day move. So with that being said, a little sideways action. And I'll tell you the truth, I like when we get sideways action, because you get to see where the action is. Where's the relative strength? What's going green first? What's going over a prior day's high? All things that we do and we teach in our tools and tactics section or our educational section, so we could then maneuver and create P&L or even alpha, whatever you're doing. So with that said, last week we were focusing on social media. I'm going to get into that tomorrow in the morning call. They actually acted very well, led by, actually, believe it or not, Twitter. Twitter last week I started talking about, and this was when I was long right around here. This is when we talked about it in the morning call. Really nice move, nice follow through. Excuse me. Unfortunately, I thought it would need a little bit more of a rest, so I did not get involved in it today. And look what happened today. Twitter triggered above the prior day's high and almost went back to the IPO high. No one pretty much was, I don't think a lot of people were expecting this move at all on Wall Street, or maybe they did and they didn't tell anyone as they downgraded it all in here. But technically, nice TBA, technical buy area, and even here, and then even here for continuation. So with that being said, social media was in play. Hold on one second. If you didn't know, in the Northeast, it's icy, it's cold, and I got a little bit of a cold, so bear with my coughing. I'll try not to do it in your ear. So with that said, another stock that we've been watching is Facebook. Facebook I did wind up going back to because it was a little easier to handle, not as, sorry about this, hold on, not as loose to me, and something that Mark's been all over also. And if you look here at the action in Facebook, first of all, you look back at when it had the gap up after earnings and the really nice trend. From there, this is when it got a little wishy-washy. Here was that earnings day, and it was in this downtrend for the majority of the fall. Then you had this sideways action. We were looking at it last week, nice little breakout. And then on Friday, it kind of threw some people off because it opened up and came in. But all in all, it held where it had to, that 47.50. So with that said, now it's flagging again. So on the VTF, you'll see that I am long it. You'll see it in the disclosures at the bottom. Another bull flag type setup, kind of like this one. So tomorrow, we'll see, can it get above 49.39 and continue? So that's something that we were looking at today and getting involved in LinkedIn. It's a little trickier here. We were talking about this right around 222, nice little trade. It actually wound up drifting higher, so if you're still in it, congratulations. That was a nice little timing spot. I think Yelp is something that could get going a little bit. Maybe it tries to play some catch-up tomorrow. Talked about this in the morning call today. Didn't really have some of the power as some of the others, but it started to poke its head above this area. This could be the next spot for Yelp, around 66. Groupon gave you a little bit of a day one. It's a small little name. This is what a day one looks like. So here's your range. It engulfed this entire range, closed near the highs of the day. Sometimes day one leads into day two. If you're looking for something to do tactically, hopefully you got involved in this a little early. Maybe you took some off and you're holding some overnight. Overall, it's still not the greatest looking stock in the world, but sometimes you do get a multi-day move, and I think there was a little bit of volume attached to this. So you go to basic studies, you go to volume, and a little bit more volume than the last few sessions. So worthy of a look. So anyway, with that said, you'll see that on my VTF also. Not an A-plus trade, but looks fine. As far as some other stocks we were keying on, Tesla was something that we've been watching. This was a nice trend we traded for most of the year, and let's just fast forward to where we are now. Here was that small little red dog reversal right around here. If you did get long right in this area and had that as your stop, you're still in it. If you traded back and forth, that's okay too. Today, you also had a little different type of red dog reversal where it traded below this little 3-day range, came back above it. So that entry could have been 136.30 or anywhere along the way. So this is something Sprong's been focusing on. I think I bought it on the VTF going positive, and it was green all day there. So hopefully that gave you guys a little bit of conviction to go with it. And now, question is, can it trigger above this little flag type pattern? Can we get another buy above 144.94 and see the moving averages that come in right around 150? And that would also be some massive resistance. So with that said, you are seeing some commitment to this last move above this descending channel here. So it's worthy of a hold. I'm in some because it makes sense. Bull flag, if tomorrow it's a red day, inside day, could happen. It might take multiple days, but this green type day puts it back in action for potential upside. As far as Apple, I came in flat Apple today, and it actually went pretty quickly. Some news that I guess they could start selling the phones with China Mobile earlier than people thought helped. So with that being said, above the 8-day, didn't break below Friday's low and come back above it. It actually held it and went pretty quickly. You look at the 3-minute chart on Apple, it gave you a quick little setup right here. I think this is pretty much when I got involved in it, right around here at this area. Okay, you had your quick move, and then your consolidation, and then this was a spot that you could have said, okay, here is your bull flag, and then continuation for what could be a nice setup for the day, and also for a little bit of a swing moving forward if that's what you do. But overall, this was your setup. Big. This was the quick move. This was your pull. If you don't trade in the first 30 minutes, fine. Here's your consolidation. Then here's your continuation. And then here was another trade when it broke above that 30-minute high. So it's entry 1, entry 2, and then you could have figured it out along the way. Also, something we were focused on was Baidu. Baidu last week got me pretty good. I lost a decent amount of money in Baidu. It went above this area early on. Actually, first I bought it wrong. I bought it pre-market. It was a little antsy. I don't know why. And thank goodness I held through it. And then once it triggered above this, it gave you a nice trade and pulled off midday and closed okay. This is somewhat of a day one. I guess tomorrow, if it trades above 173.65, you can get continuation. It's still very choppy and loose stock. It's not the easiest one to maneuver, but it did close well, so it was worthy of also a take-home if that's what you do. If not, on the 3-minute chart, you look at how that thing went. That was fast and furious. First, it went lower, gave you, if you look at people like, oh, do you see a red dog reversal ever on a 3 or 5-minute chart? Well, here was your first move down, here was your reversal, and then this is when it woke up fast, and then you got a little bit of follow through here before Baidu does what Baidu does and fails a little bit to then close okay. But anyway, on the daily chart, looking pretty good and closed okay. We'll see what happens. As far as some of the banks, XLF, decent inside day, not a lot of power there. Citigroup acted a little bit better early on, I guess, because of the Barron story. It did close off the highs. Overall, you look at this pattern here, still looks okay, but a bit lethargic. Bank of America, also a bit lethargic, kind of hanging in there. I guess you could make a case that you have this as one inflection point, and then here is another one, and then here is your support, and you can make this a little bit wider. Still above the 21-day, still digesting what was a great move over the since early November. So maybe with more time, it can get going. We'll see what happens there. And I'm really not going to. Oh, you know what? Gold. Everyone's like, oh, is this the bottom in gold? Gold just got everyone thrown off guard because it looked as if a break below 119 or where the GLDs were, that we would get a test of the June lows. But what does the market want to do? It wants to make everyone feel as stupid as possible and not reward everyone. So everyone that was looking for a break of the June lows or this and that, they're not getting it right now. So you look at GLDs, it's very random and hard to really gauge. But at this point, it's coming into an area where if you were short, you have to measure your commitment to that short. So every time it's looked good, it's gapped lower. Let's see what happens now. Here was that June low. This is a bigger downtrend coming in right here. And I guess if it were to start getting above this 120.76, they might try and squeeze a little bit. That's when I think the gold bugs would get a little bit more excited with the close above this. I don't know why I did it, but I bought a little GDX today. It looks as if it's trying to also give you a small little trade here. It did close above the prior day high. I guess if we get a bounce up, it's worthy. It's almost like an extra hedge, and I have a few positions on. If you look at the volume, I guess we'll see if there's any volume attached to this little thing here. I always hate when I buy the GDX or gold. Nothing crazy volume-wise. Sorry. Let's look at this a little bit bigger. Bit more volume, I guess, than Friday, but. So we'll see. I'm in it. My stop will be here, and we'll see if we get another trade. I think I felt more comfortable with this versus the GLD. But every time this looks good, it gets for sale. So with that being said, I would do whatever you're doing small here. And to wrap it up, it's Monday. Indices were up a little bit. I do think that there was a lot of individual tactical action, which is what we've been trying to uncover for you with our off the charts, the morning note, the VTF, the tweets, the education, you name it, we're there for you any which way you want it. So hopefully, you're taking advantage of our resources, so this way you're learning how to maneuver the market based on your skill set. And if you don't like what your skill set is, I think there's a little bit more of the manuals left over. So if you go to the front of T3Live.com, you'll see that we did have a special on a lot of manuals that we put together over the course of the last. Nope, all right, they're sold out. I got there. Too late. Take advantage of it next time it happens, and I'm sure there'll be another one soon. But anyway, with that being said, it's December. Keep your stress level down. Enjoy the holidays. Make a little bit of money. Don't play catch up on the year. Add to what went on in 2013 already, and just keep taking some small steps. And we'll realign what's going on for 2014, and we should be coming out with our 2014 thesis in the days to weeks ahead. So look forward to that as we do that every year. If you want to take a quick look back, look at 2013, look at 2012, they were pretty good. Anyone watch Curb Your Enthusiasm? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I'm Mark Sperling, Director of Trading with T3 Trading Group and contributor to T3 Live. Do you trade on your own, but you wish you enjoyed the benefits of a large trading floor? With the T3 Live virtual trading floor, we deliver that experience to you on your computer. On the VTF, you can follow the long and short positions of experienced professional traders like myself, Scott Redler, and others, and listen to our live radio stations as we navigate the markets. In addition, you get the added value of a large community of sophisticated and like-minded traders. In my opinion, joining the room will be the best trading decision you will ever make. I would like to invite you to begin your membership with a 7-day free trial. To get started, visit T3Live.com and click on the Virtual Trading Floor tab. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the VTF.